Hello everybody and welcome back to Juno New Origins, where we've been working on this insane contraption that we have here, very correctly named Insane Lander, and we're going to put that out on the village pad, because I believe it should honestly be good to go. So we're going to lift this up. We know that 89 degrees wasn't quite enough to counter the rotation, right? So we want to bring this over to a heading of 225, and I want to have this be at a pitch of, let's try 85. That might be too much. We'll find out. So we need to go to Mach 3, and that is indeed the exact goal here. Off we go. So we need to accelerate up to Mach 3 and then land in the village. And this whole thing is going to be very interesting. We're at Mach 2 right now. Yeah, we have parts taking heat damage. 2.5. Mach 3. We are currently shutting down the engine. And at this point, we would like to be, ideally here, assuming our astronauts are not taking heat damage, which they kind of were, but hopefully they won't be at this point. So looking at our current velocity, I think we might be going too far this way, but if we are, we've got 15% additional fuel with which to steer ourselves on the way down. It definitely feels like we might be going too far this direction. So the actual pitch might end up being like 87, 88, somewhere around there. 89 was clearly not enough. 85 might be too much. It does feel like it's too much, doesn't it? It does. I'm going to turn us around to be at a heading of 45 degrees. And we're going to start accelerating down. Now, it's going to turn us so that the parachute is facing down. We'll get yanked around when the parachutes actually activate. There's apparently nothing in stage 2. Let's stage 2, and then stage 3 here. Sure. So that seems reasonably fine for now. Our drag force is building up, and as you can see here, we have overshot the village. There is no doubt about that. So I'm pushing us back towards the village somewhat here. About like that. So if we check here, we can see we're heading way out this way, but that might be too much. We'll see. I think it was. Okay, let's actuate the chutes at this point, and let's see if we can pull this guy back around to be at about 225. Yeah, we're overshooting the village now. So we're going to bring this back over this way, get rid of some of that lateral speed. We're down to 100 meters per second lateral speed. So that's noted. I'm going to want to bring us up and around over this way. Because we want to head over towards the village, right? No doubt about that. So we're going to head a little bit more towards the village. We have 1% fuel remaining. That should be reasonably fine. So these chutes are currently open. And we can see that our lateral speed is definitely declining. Now, if we land in the hills up over here, that's not necessarily the worst thing in the world. We're going to use this last little bit of fuel a little later on, though. I don't want to use it right now. So it's clear that 85 was too much pitching. But beyond that, this is pretty decent. Okay, so there's the main chute, and that's pulling us around, which was expected. There. That's the last of the fuel burned. Now the question is, have we successfully tuned in when the main chute opens? I don't know. It's not open yet. I feel like it should be open by now. Okay, that's when it deploys. Actually, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. So now the question is, do these wheels function in any meaningful way? Well, they don't appear to have any steering on them, so that's exciting. And then we rolled. The drogue chute exploded. That's fine. I don't mind the drogue chute exploding. Okay, so I don't think the wheels have any control on them at this point. No, I'm pretty sure that they don't. Honestly, we don't need the steering. We can steer with our reaction wheel, weirdly enough. This guy should definitely be repacked. But yeah, the wheels definitely need some work here. So let's pull this back. But that's proof that this can work. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to recover, or actually just undo an exit. And we're going to hop into the build system here because I want to increase the size of these wheels just a little bit. I'm going to bring them up to about 100%, assuming that that's not a problem. Okay, so something like that. Then we're going to need to have their RPM input be on pitch. And this is already on, this should be on pitch here. Okay. And then these up here, I want them to be able to turn. And the turn input is on yaw. Hang on. That's a really weird way to turn. Okay. Well, we know that we shouldn't actually need the turn input, so let's just get rid of the turning angle. Okay. So this should be a little bit safer. Now the question is, do we have any issues? It's too wide for the selected launch location. Okay. So to that end, we can definitely move these guys in a little bit. So if we bring them in on the Z axis here, this is actually the X position. If we move this into, say, 0.9 or negative 0.9, does that give us enough space? It should be pretty close. Yeah, that's enough. Okay, cool. So this is obviously really, really janky, right? But that's fine. So let's go ahead and launch this guy again. And we're going to give this a go. So I'm going to try this. Well, for one thing, we need to have our heading be at 225. And then we need to have this be 85 was too much. So let's try it, splitting the difference between 89 and 85 at about 87. And let's go. So we just want to burn here until we have Mach 3. That's Mach 1. 1.5. 2. 2.5. Mach 3. Engine off. Okay. And we are slowing down. We do have parts taking heat damage, but I'm not too concerned about it. So it's going to be much slower now. And we're going to have less distance this way, but I want to bring our heading back around to 45. And I want to set our pitch at 0. Okay. There we go. Now, let's accelerate forward a little bit, and we can stage once. Only 13% fuel this time. Interesting. But we should need less fuel to get back to the village. It seems like 87 is still too much. Okay, that's definitely noted. We're going to need to burn a little bit to get back over towards the village. I burned a teeny tiny amount, and that was actually a lot, apparently. Okay. I'm going to bring us back to 225 on the heading. And let's just bring this over a little bit to be about, very low burn, to be about there. Okay, so we're coming down basically into the village at this point, is the idea. we can see that our prograde marker and our target marker are very, very similar. Slightly off on the heading, but I'm not too concerned about that. So let's just drop on down. We can see we're slowing down, so we're over terminal velocity as it is right now. I'm going to deploy chutes at about 10 kilometers above ground level, keeping an eye on our overall velocity here. Okay. I feel like we might want to go this way ever so slightly. Like up over here, right? Or, well, actually, no, just like over this way. So some very, very minor burning over there. Okay, let's get the chutes out soon. I'm going to burn the rest of our fuel out over this way. Or actually, not all of it. That was too much. That was too much. I'm getting the chutes out. And we're just going to burn ourselves back this way a little bit. But what I really want to do now is I want to get the main chute out and then do a final course correction back to the village. So that's going to be back over this direction. This thing has a lot of kick to it. No doubt about that. Okay, so we're coming down over here, which is not ideal. The main chute is out now, which pulls us back to horizontal. And now we're going to want to burn the remainder of our fuel out this direction. There we go. So we're heading this direction towards the village. I have our brakes on right now. Chute should deploy very shortly. There it goes. Chute is deploying. Now, the question is, are we going to land on a building? If we don't land on a building, we should be good here. And I think we're going to land in between these buildings here. I think that's what we've got going on here. So brakes are on. We're coming down kind of speedily. We actually might land on this building. Yeah, that was right on the building. Okay, so that is, of course, bad. We don't want to land on the building, so we're going to have to retry that once more. It seems like 87 was still too much. So let's pitch this over to 88. And off we go. So we're just going to burn up to Mach 3 again. Mach 1.5, we're halfway there. Mach 2. 2.5. And engine shutdown. Beautiful. So hopefully that will just counteract the rotation underneath us. That's the idea. And I want to put ourselves at a horizontal position. Yeah, I know our astronauts are taking heat damage. That's fine. Absolutely understood. That will happen. Okay, so we're going to start going down fairly soon. Let's advance forward a bit at 2x. It seems like we're still gaining a little bit too much horizontal speed this way. So even 88 is a little too much. That's noted. So we're going to need to rotate this guy right on around, of course. And we'll just position it here. And let's get a very, very gentle amount of burn out this direction. We don't need a lot. Just a small amount. And I want to go like this a little bit. Pulling that over to about there. Okay, something kind of like that. Feels like that might be a little overshooty again, but let's just pull this back around and let's get our chutes out. Okay, chutes are out. And then we'll do our last bit of steering on the way in. So at this point, the drogue chutes kind of take over and keep our speed slow for the main chutes, right? And we're going to need to move this around to a heading of like 45. Okay, main is out. And we're going to want to get some speed out this way. So we're going to burn some of this fuel. And just bring it in about like that. So now we've got some speed bringing us down over here, with the idea being we want to land on the runway. We'll see if that happens. This is actually looking really good, this angle. The chute, of course, gets a lot of that horizontal velocity gone. We've still got 6% fuel here, so we could bring this out over this way a bit. The chute is going to eliminate that speed very rapidly, and that is fine, honestly. Okay, let's just bring this guy right on down. We're moving at 17 meters per second here, and that feels very fast. But there we go. We have landed. So now I'm going to repack the chute here. And we are going to accelerate over this way a little bit. So we don't have a lot of acceleration speed here. We could use our rocket for that, and our turning is inverted. That's noted. But all we should need to do here is make our way down to the bottom of the ramp. So we need to get up onto the concrete here. Turning is inverted. Up onto the concrete. We could use our rocket to accelerate ourselves up a bit, and I'm going to do that. Not much, just a teeny tiny amount. We're going to want to keep our speed fairly low here. We're supposed to approach the village runway from the bottom of the ramp. And then the question is it wanting us to come back up the runway? We might have to use our remaining rocket fuel for that. I'm not sure how much our acceleration will do up this actual hill. We don't have much torque, right? Okay. So down we go, and we're going to accelerate down this hill quite extensively. I'm wondering about braking. Okay, braking is no problem. That's good to know. And let's just bring this right on back down. So we're cruising along at 10 meters per second. That is fine. And then the question is, where is our next location to go? Because we have to park in a particular location, right? I'm not sure if we can get back up this hill. That's my major concern at this moment. Okay. So let's brake here. So now we need to get to the end of the runway. Okay, so we can just turn ourselves around like so. And that will very slowly turn us with our reaction wheel. And then what I'm interested in doing is turning off our reaction wheel, potentially to conserve battery power. That said, we're still at 97% battery power. So let's see if we can accelerate up this hill on our motors. If not, we'll use a little bit of rocket assistance. We've got 5% fuel left. Our surface speed is increasing here. Let's see if it increases once we get to this steeper portion. It's dropping. Okay. We're using rocket assistance. Okay, we're just going to coast from here. Our surface speed is decreasing. And that's good. We want it to decrease. Going up over this little lip here, I want to be moving pretty slowly. Okay, so we're moving around 7 meters per second right now. There we go. We made it over the lip. We should be golden. So we're going to get to the end of the runway here. This is definitely how this was intended to be done. The contract was failed. What? What do you mean it was failed? We completed all of the missions. Or we completed all of the components. That's interesting. I feel like we definitely completed everything there. I think this may have bugged. Hang on. Let's retry this. These contracts seem like they're pretty buggy. So. Approach the village runway from the bottom of the ramp. Slow down under 10 meters per second before you enter the parking area. area. This must be what we failed. Hang on. I'm going to check the recording and see if we were under 10 meters per second. I will be right back. Yep, that was it. I just checked the recording. We just went up over 10 meters per second just as we were entering the parking area. Okay, so this will work. We just need to execute it properly. So let's head to 225, 88 degrees, and off we go. Beautiful. So we got to get accelerated up here. That is Mach 1.5. Mach 2. Mach 2.5. And... hang on. Didn't quite get there. Didn't quite get there. Mach 3. Okay. I kind of want to retry that again because we burned extra fuel because I cut it early. This engine doesn't cut off exactly on the cue. So I was trying to optimize that a little bit and I failed. So let's try this again. Okay, so that's Mach 1. But yeah, I don't think this contract is bugged. We just objectively failed it because I missed that requirement. So that's fine. Mach 2.5, and we are at Mach 3. Engine cutoff. And at this point, I want to turn us back around to 45, which apparently we cannot do. And I want to set our pitch to 0. There we go. Okay, so let's warp through this a little bit. And we are in position to burn back this direction. We're going to be firing our chutes eventually, but I'm not going to be utilizing them this high up, obviously. Okay, so we're going to be burning quite gently. Let's see where our final velocity is taking us. Okay. So that's definitely noted. We're going to want to go this way a little bit, maybe even like this way, ever so slightly. And let's go ahead and burn a smidge here. Just get a little bit of lateral speed. I'm going to overburn it ever so slightly because we know we're going to lose velocity on the way down. I say as we're overshooting it too much. So back around we come. And we're just going to burn it like so. Okay. Chutes are out. And we'll see where we're going to be landing. We have 11% fuel left. And, I mean, if we're going to be landing right down here, that's fine. I'm reasonably content with that. Okay, main is out. I'm going to take us off of 2x speed increase. And I'd like to bring us around to be, like, out over here-ish. Actually, like, over here-ish. Okay, I'm going to burn us off this direction a little bit. I think I'm going to call this good. We can just go down over here like that. Although, if we're going to be coming down on the houses here, we should probably get a little bit of speed out this way, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Something like that. Okay, brakes are on. We have landed. Stow the chute. Okay. We are working on making our way out this direction. We might require some rocket assistance to get over this area. I'm turning the wrong way because it's inverted. Okay. So we are currently here. This is probably fine. We should be able to navigate our way down this direction. Make our way up here. In theory, I'm trying to turn us here, and it is not succeeding at turning us. Okay, we might have to come out this way, align ourselves a bit, back off, align more, and now we might have to do a little bit of rocket assistance to make our way up this. Okay, then we can turn down here, right? About like that. Okay, so now we can make our way over, and we should be good here, as long as we're careful. Especially now that we know that we have to enter that last checkpoint under 10 meters per second. Okay, I'm going to brake us a little bit because we're going too fast. And now we're going to come to a complete halt. Turn. And we're going to begin to accelerate here. There we go. Going to get us a tiny amount of rocket assistance here, but we really don't need it until we get to this point. So that's fine. Okay, our surface speed is now dropping, so we're going to get rocket assistance. This will accelerate us very, very powerfully, so we're on 2% thrust here. And now I'm going to cut it, and we're going to coast. We want to be moving at like 5 meters per second or so when we get to this lip. So we're currently at about 10 meters per second. We'll let this continue to drop. 7, 6. Okay, I'm accelerating us again to try to hold speed here. There we go. And now we're going to coast at 5 meters per second. We know we have to be going under 10 meters per second when we enter the parking area. And we're currently going basically 0 meters per second. So this is very, very controlled. Just very slowly coasting in. And there we go. Perfect. Well, that was awkward. That's an insane vehicle, but we did it. No, I don't want to retry. I want to recover the craft. There we go. Perfect. I don't want to have to do that one again. So at this point, we've got this progression mission. This is the alley air race. Okay, we can definitely do that. That's going to be done with the plane that we currently have. But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to see about doing that alley air race and getting another progression mission into the books. That'll be great. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Atala, Andy McGar, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Hiro Marutsu, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.